Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Thursday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk all things Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and today's report includes: this Pittsburgh Steeler is a finalist for an NFL Honors Award. The dates for the 2026 NFL Draft have been revealed. Pittsburgh Penguins General Manager Kyle Dubas dismisses fire sale rumors, and more. As always, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the first news story of the day. This Pittsburgh Steeler is a finalist for an NFL Honors Award. Before the Super Bowl in a few weeks, the National Football League will host its annual NFL Honors Ceremony. Before we get to said ceremony, the finalists for each of the awards were named this morning, with one Steeler in the running for hardware. That Steeler is outside linebacker TJ Watt, who for the 5th time in his career is a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. In 2024, Watt didn't have the godliest of stats that Steelers fans have become accustomed to seeing from him, recording 61 total tackles, 40 solo and 19 for losses, 11.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, and 4 pass defenses in 17 games played. Watt will have some stiff competition for the award this year, going against 2 division rivals in defensive ends Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns and Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals, corner Pat Surtain II from the Denver Broncos, and linebacker Zach Bond from the Philadelphia Eagles. Taking off my Pittsburgh bias glasses here, I don't know how Watt is a candidate for this award this year, other than by name recognition alone. I mean, he went the last 4 games of the season, including the wild card, without having a sack, in the last 2 games without recording a single statistic. I'm sure a small reason for that lack of production was the ankle injury he suffered in Week 16 against the Philadelphia Eagles, influencing Watt to pull out of the Pro Bowl games today. If we're being honest here, Surtain is the worthiest candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, but putting my Pittsburgh bias glasses back on here, if Watt were to somehow win, I'm not going to complain. TJ deserves to win DPOY again, even if he wasn't the favorite, for the many other times he's been screwed out of winning, especially last year when Garrett won it. Once again, the winners of the awards will be made at the NFL Honors Ceremony in New Orleans on February 6th. This newest NFL mock draft has the Pittsburgh Steelers addressing a roster hole in the first round. This is the most wonderful time of the year for NFL couch coaches and desk chair GMs. With the end of the 2024 NFL season looming, the attention of fans is slowly shifting towards the NFL draft in late April. As the draft begins to be a bigger talking point, you will start to see countless mock drafts on social media and online, whether they be from fans or analysts. Arguably the biggest NFL draft enthusiast is ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper Jr. Like he does every year, yesterday Kiper released his mock draft 1.0, and who he has the Steelers taking in the first round will please a lot of people. With the 21st overall pick, Kiper is projecting the Pittsburgh Steelers to select wide receiver Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. In his explanation of the pick, Kiper said that barring a major addition in free agency, the Steelers must take a receiver in the first round for their offense to dramatically improve. He described Egbuka as a target eater with great route running abilities and speed. Each of those 3 things the Steelers rarely got from their receiver room this season. The 22-year-old senior for the national champion Buckeyes caught 81 passes this season for just over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. More appealing than his statistics, in my opinion, is that Egbuka seems like a level-headed player who won't have off-the-field issues. To be honest, and I'm not an Ohio State homer here, I would love nothing more than for the Steelers to bring in a bunch of Ohio State alumni this offseason. Re-sign Justin Fields, go get Garrett Wilson if he is on his way out of New Jersey, and when the draft rolls around, take Egbuka in round 1, one of the 2 running backs in Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins in round 3, and then take a 4th-round flyer on quarterback Will Howard. I do want to have the same caveat as Kiper that should the Steelers make major additions in free agency, these plans could change. However, if these possibilities could become reality as the offseason rolls on, then I will happily scream OHIO. The dates for the 2026 NFL Draft have been revealed. Speaking of the draft, the dates for the 2026 NFL Draft have officially been announced. Of course, for those who may not know already, back in May of last year, it was announced that Pittsburgh will be the host city for the 2026 NFL Draft. Now, almost exactly 8 months later, it was announced today that the 2026 Draft will take place from April 23rd through April 25th. This is Pittsburgh's first time hosting the NFL Draft in over 75 years, the last and only other time being in December of 1948. I also believe this is the first major sports league event to take place in Pittsburgh since the NHL Draft was held at PPG Paints Arena in 2012 and the MLB All-Star Game was held at PNC Park in 2006. No official location in Pittsburgh for the draft stage has been confirmed yet, but speculations are that it will be held in Point Park and near Acrisure Stadium. Are you going to the 2026 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comments below. Pittsburgh Penguins general manager Kyle Dubas dismisses fire sale rumors. Earlier this week, a report came out that the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are currently on the outside looking in as far as playoff seeding goes, could be selling off a lot of assets. This report from RG Media's Marco D'Amico says, quote, "A source close to the Penguins has informed RG Media that Kyle Dubas is looking for a fire sale. Big-name veterans, not just simply pending free agents, are up on the trade block, and the Penguins are willing to retain to move out Erik Karlsson." The report added that everyone on the Penguins roster is available, except for forwards Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Brian Rust, and Philip Tomasino, and defenseman Owen Pickering. Even when this report came out 3 days ago, I had my doubts about its validity, and now Pens GM Kyle Dubas has responded to it. Last night, Dubas appeared on the radio show of Penguins play-by-play commentator Josh Getzoff and dismissed the fire sale report, saying, "As our actions have shown from last March, we're trying to bring in younger NHL players, bring in prospects, and bring in draft picks, with the goal being to quickly develop them into assets that can help the core win one more time and set the team up for the long-range future. That's our goal, our ambition, and we're not going to stray from that. But to say that's a fire sale or retain money on long-term deals, it's not accurate. We've had lots of conversations, but are we telling teams that everything must go? No, we're not." In my opinion, Dubas has done a good job in bringing in the type of assets that he mentioned. He added young NHL players like forwards Cody Glass and Philip Tomasino, prospects like forwards Rucker McGroarty and Vasily Ponomarev, and a decent number of quality draft picks like in almost every trade he's made in the past year. However, if the Pens are still in the middle of the pack when the trade deadline rolls around in early March, players like defenseman Marcus Pettersson and forwards Anthony Beauvillier and Drew O'Connor could get moved. What do you guys think of Dubas' comments? Should the Pens consider a fire sale? Let me know in the comments. And finally, a Penguins forward returns after being away from the team for one game. On Monday night, the Pittsburgh Penguins took down one of the Pacific Division's best teams in the Los Angeles Kings 5-1. What made that performance even more impressive is that the Pens did it without their top goal scorer and forward Rickard Rakell. It was announced by head coach Mike Sullivan before Monday's game that Rakell left the road trip to return to Pittsburgh for a family matter. The matter was not specified, and it was unknown how long the Swede would be away from the team. Well, thankfully it was only a brief absence for Rakell as he rejoined the team yesterday in Anaheim. Rax was back on the top line with Sidney Crosby and Brian Rust and will probably be back in the Pens lineup tonight against his old team in the Ducks. Puck drop for tonight's game is scheduled for 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be Alex Nedeljkovic in net for Pittsburgh, opposite Pittsburgh native John Gibson for Anaheim. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a Thursday edition of the Steel City Sports Report. Again, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow with some more Pittsburgh sports news.